and Lyft. Joe currently uses multiple phones to efficiently drive for Uber and Lyft. But this can be a pain at times and very unsafe. That was until Joe found Maximo, the rideshare app that automates Uber and Lyft ride requests. Maximo will use the filters set by Joe, like time, distance, and passenger rating, to determine which rides are best suited for Joe. When a ride request comes in, Joe doesn't need to worry. Maximo will automatically accept the ride request that matches his filters, and then turn off the app that isn't currently on a ride. Once Joe finishes the ride, Maximo will turn everything back on. This will allow Joe to focus more on his passengers and driving safe.
By the way, everybody, that 3G there means it would take 3 Garys to do what Gary does. What's up, y'all? Welcome to Thursday Roundtable. Always good to have you guys. What's up, Thomas? Hey, what's up, Dash with Ash? What's up, Kevin? And what's up, other 10 people lurking? We hope that you all will jump in the chat. And by the way, I do want to mention that a little bit, guys. Was it Bud Soda I was talking to that some people feel a little intimidated because there's a bunch of wrenches in the chat. The reason that all the wrenches are in the chat, so if you're not coming in because of that, please do come in, because we probably know you or somebody knows you, or if we don't, we'll get to know you and I'll give you one, because I like people to be able to post links or to be able to look up other people's channels and things like that. And as long as you're a good person and you're not doing anything wrong, it's no skin off our back to give it up to you guys. So, but I want to, let me see, which way is it? So the way of, okay, so tonight, sitting in for Gary, we have, yes, John Dash Theory TV.
It was like a wrestler, the way he just motioned, like the really quick whip. I like that, actually.
Well, I had to make sure, I'm looking at my screen, and I know I got to do like stage right, stage left, and it's backwards, yeah, so it's hard. Yeah. But John's sitting in with us again, as always. He just called himself the sixth, so it's yeah, it's I guess what it is. You know, I was saying he's starting to be here more than, like, if we take cumulative days a month for all of us, John might have the most. I don't know.
Definitely more than me.
We got Hannibal
on call position.
Hannibal is hungry. But I'm sure Hannibal had quite the discussion on his channel.
Yeah, I think it turned into like Sunday Fun Day, where I'm just live streaming for 5 hours straight. So yeah, that was fun.
I was like waiting for the Jerry Springer chairs to come through the.
It was fun, but I was fading. I was tired.
We got Kim from Kim's Side Money Plans.
Hey, everyone.
Screwed that one up. Who has the perfect attendance record, by the way? Here, you guys.
Check.
And of course, we have Zach Drives Fast.
What's going on?
And we're excited to have Zach. I had him on the podcast with me, but this is the rescheduled roundtable, and we're excited to have him. So, Zach, how's your summer so far? What you been up to? What you doing?
Man, I've been getting this weird tan on half my body from sitting in the car too much.
Oh, do you ever think about sitting in the passenger side while you're waiting?
No.
I do that.
Do you really?
Really?
I do. Yeah.
I try to find. I try to find the shadiest spot possible and like camp there.
Do you do it for the tan reasons though?
I do.
No, I do it because the air conditioning is like super janky in my car, so it's the only way I'm gonna not be roasting alive.
Oh my gosh. That's too funny. So what have you, but how's your summer been? First of all, for those that don't know, Zach lives just north. Should I say just north, or kind of more than just north of Seattle?
About an hour and a half, 2 hours north of Seattle. By distance, I'm actually closer to Vancouver. I'm in a town called Bellingham, Washington.
So 2/3 of the way to Canada from Seattle.
Yeah.
Okay. So, hey, what's up, Mr. Flex? How you doing? Yo, right back at you. Yeah, your market has always been pretty good as far as I watch on your channel. You know, you seem to be one of the better markets. I know St. Louis or Seattle's a really good market too. Rideshare delivery, they get paid well.
Yeah, Seattle's not bad,
Um,
from what I hear.
but how's it going for you this summer?
It's a little slow. I think inflation's kind of starting to hit a little bit, and it's been slower. Had to be out longer and later, but
Inflation in terms like more people working the platform and it's cutting into your money, or inflation is causing you to need to earn more and stay out longer, or
the second one. I mean, oversaturation is definitely a real problem as well. But what I'm specifically referring to is people I think are spending less money, and it also, as much as I complain about them, the college students being gone over the summer isn't particularly helping the order quantity either.
right? Well, I would imagine too. I know a lot go home, but as you get older in college, I would imagine that a lot are probably competing with you for jobs, or that some of the college crowd is doing DoorDash or whatever this summer.
They're taking the ones that more experienced drivers don't want to take, though. So
They're the they're the 225 people.
They're the 220. Well, 275 in my market, but yeah.
All right, remember they're students, they're not teachers.
Both Lisas. What other Lisa? Let's see.
I was
Lisa
reading the comments.
one.
It took me a second to catch that.
Oh, hi, Driven Mom. How are you? Hey, John McCallion. How are you? Tony, how are you? Oh, I did miss a couple people. Brad, how are you? Hannibal, what's up?
Hey.
Hey. Holly, how you doing? And Rideshare Lisa. And Joe from Let's Play DoorDash. How you doing? And Eric. And yeah, it looks like we got some people coming in here. So right on. Always have a good time here on Thursdays, you guys. Gary and I are practicing ELE on Sundays. Going to try and bring that over to here too, because
Wait, ELE, Extinction Level Events? What?
Everybody love everybody.
Oh,
Everybody love everybody. It's from the Will Ferrell movie Semi-Pro.
Oh, got it.
It's
not a quote from Anchorman, but
no.
Okay.
But it's got it's got a ring to it. And I'm not saying everybody has to love everybody, but respect. Okay, respect. Respect.
R-E-R-E. Everybody.
I mean, we barely hinted on inflation, and I honestly think inflation is even getting into people's heads. People are getting weird right now. Like,
thanks.
In my everyday life, more than usual, I mean, though. I mean, people are getting stressed. People are very short-fused.
Yeah.
Like something that might not tick somebody off might really tick them off right now. It's so weird. And it's like, we come out of this pandemic and we're just trying to get back around people. And then, now it's like, what? Shut up. It's like, now we're going to be mean to everybody. Like, I'm going to get some ELE shirts made up. I'm going to get involved and like blow a whistle and break people apart at the grocery store.
Play referee a couple of times.
I'll buy a shirt if you actually make it. I'll buy it.
But I also I wanted to mention, guys, that I know a lot don't listen to the audio podcast, but I did drop my 150th audio podcast this week.
Congratulations!
Congrats!
Thank you.
150 of anything is amazing.
That's a lot of work, guys. I never missed 1 week. Even when I had COVID the first time around in the summer of 2020, I played Tremaine is doing this 24-hour stream for 30 days to help raise money for his movie studio. The other night I took it over so that he could go do a screening of Simp, and I ran it for 4 hours, and I played the first time I interviewed Tremaine, which was episode 15, and I actually had COVID, and you can hear me in between words going, I couldn't believe, first of all, the recording is really bad, but I couldn't believe that I was like playing this thing. I'm like, oh, it sounds, oh my God, it sounds awful. I sound like I'm dying. So
makes sense.
That's some of the older episodes out there, they just, he was like on a speakerphone. And I remember when I first met Hannibal, I was kind of like just starting to change equipment. And I was like talking to him about video equipment and stuff. And he's like, well, you'll just get it piece by piece because everything was just a mess. It was like one thing was going wrong or this was. So to everybody starting your channels, man, don't give up. Hannibal was right. It does come, but you just got to do it piece by piece.
Yep.
No, John, I don't have the Rona again. I'm talking about 2020. God, I haven't even seen anybody write the Rona in a while.
Got the one
Oh,
with
it's
the
a
lime.
full
That's what
moon.
we're
Is it a
talking
full
about.
moon tonight? I thought somebody told me it was last night, Holly. You
No,
know,
I think
leading up
it's
to a
tonight.
full moon always makes people weird. So, okay, maybe that's part of it. But the rest of it's just that people are weird. So
I feel like you've got a backstory here. Something happened right before the stream.
right, but we're not going to talk about that. I mean, you came in during it, you know.
Oh, that's not what I was referring to. I thought you had an experience like out and about today. Made you go, wow, what is going on with people?
No, although before we do jump in, one last thing I will say is that I was starting to Hannibal, I don't know, you're one of the people who does curry too, like me. And I will say that like all summer I've been getting 20, 30 orders, and lately it's just been blowing up because they send the orders out to, they're starting to send them out to week of pay. And you know how we've always said that even a crap order, somebody's going to take it. This is the exception. The curry drivers are smart because nobody takes the crap pay ones. They let it grow. And so I'm getting like too many notices. I need a Gary app to filter. It's bothering me, in fact. However, I will
a lot of notifications, a lot.
But I'll say that the pay started going down in the summer after I was like loving it. And I'm like, this sucks. I'm getting a lot of notifications. Now the pay is going back up. They seem to be realizing people aren't doing this. People aren't taking it until we get up to this high amount. So why are we sending it out 15 times before we send the real amount?
I mean, especially with the distance. I mean, the distance it's really, really far. So you want to, and you are playing that game where you're waiting for it to get high enough for you to take it, but then somebody may just take it before that happens, and you kind of judge it, and you don't want to take it too quickly. It's there's a strategy involved, I guess, but there's a lot of constructions happening, so everyone is still ordering and getting things delivered. So,
I mean, I love taking them, but they got to be the right money. Mm-hmm. If they're the right money, I love them because I've actually gotten used to curry. And to be honest, most of the places I go here in Denver, I've already been now for curry. Nice. I know that's kind of probably the same, Kim, and for food delivery and stuff, you're very familiar with some restaurants, but with curry, it's even you're working with less things. You're often going to the same paint store. You're just there like for half of your orders or something. So, you're not supposed to have to load and unload. I load and unload every time because the Sherman-Williams paint store has two girls that weigh maybe 200 pounds between them. And not to be mean, but they just look at me. It'd be like 200 pounds of paint. And they're just like, I'm like, I got it.
Like that was on your job description. Go right ahead.
Steve the gentleman.
Well, because I think when it's for them, it's palletized and stuff, so people can just come in and get what they need, and things ordered through there work that way. But these third-party apps is, it's like they're told through the app, like, by the way, you have to load this for the customer. And you got two 95-pound girls working behind the counter, and they're like, hey, look at what it says. And they're like, no. I'm like, don't worry about it. Just
getting a little workout too.
Yeah, man. It's
That's what I think about whenever I have something heavy like 40 bottles of water or something like crazy. Like I'm like, okay, arm workout today. Let's go.
Yeah. At least I think for Uber Eats there is a limit to how much water you can order. Or at least in my experience, that someone's not ordering 10 cases of water. Like I think when I checked, it was 5. So like certain things, they should have some level of common sense. Like you should not order that much water. It's heavy. Are you going to help bring it in? Probably, like those things need to be factored in.
Yeah, for sure. So I want to. I know we were talking about the question before I came on here because I asked Zach this, and if you didn't see the podcast, then everybody will kind of be exposed to this, I guess. So maybe it's kind of a question everybody can answer. But so when I had Zach on before, and I know he's kind of doing, I don't know exactly where he's going with the video with this, so I'm excited to see. But yeah, well, I mean, I don't know. So, but I asked him a question. About if you were the CEO of DoorDash and tasked to, was it a year or 2 years or? I mean, I changed it around 3. Okay, 3.
Yep.
And you were tasked to, in 3 years, be in the profit, but you're in complete control. Money, allocating to what. And I know we don't have the books, but just a general knowledge of what we know being out there. And obviously you can't just go pay the drivers more, because again, the goal is to make it to a profit. So there has to be a middle ground decision. But what's going on with these gig companies? And even though we are not CEOs, how would you handle it? And I asked Zach, and Zach, do you have a different answer now?
I've added to my answer.
Can we hear it?
No. Yeah, of course.
I thought maybe it was part of the video, so I was like, well, maybe I shouldn't ask.
Yeah, so I think that the distance that DoorDash allows people to travel to order food from, rather, is problematic. And I think that encourages a lot of drivers to kind of decline the order. And as a result, the order gets bonused and bonused and bonused. And then DoorDash ends up paying out of their own pocket. So they really need to limit the distance. The rest of it I address in the next video, so I'll leave the rest there.
Cliffhanger. So
Dun, dun, dun.
I guess what I'm curious about though is, okay, so one thing I had been thinking of lately is, I know that none of us like first of all, I hate Instacart.
Really?
You?
This newsflash, I did not.
I say I totally
You don't love
didn't know
Instacart?
that.
What?
Wow.
I'm working on it. I've been told I should like it, that it's really awesome, but it's not my market, guys. I mean, and really, if you saw my offers, I mean, Hannibal's seen some. I don't know if I sent any to John or Kim or what, but they're really bad. Really bad. But I was thinking that, forget about the stacked orders from Instacart and how they subsidize the no tip with the tip there, and make you, and kind of do the same thing with the mileage, take a long mile and a short mile, and then kind of make the offer look from complete crap to like semi crap, because it's two, But I was thinking, why can't these food platforms, I was talking about this with Jimmy from Para, if these food platforms were more streamlined, why couldn't it be 2 orders from the same restaurant while you're there at the same time? Not grab one and then in the same parking lot, a different restaurant, you decide to, okay, I'll stack these, but one platform, 2 orders per as often as possible, and keep them close together. I mean, the algorithms can handle stuff like this, and I know people don't want to do this, but if you got paid 140% of what you call a good fare, or a good ride, or a good delivery, would that be worth it if there was 2 stacked every time? Because Jimmy and I were breaking this down, and it makes a lot more sense. You'd save a lot more money. The company would on dispatching. And I'm just curious, if you were making like 140% of what you'd make on a delivery for a few more minutes, maybe another mile or so, and really no extra work, grabbing an extra bag or 2, whatever. Does that sound more appealing? Does that sound?
So I'm going to speak. I'll say that I think it does sound more appealing, just because of like the way that I like to drive. Like, to me, getting to, I ideally would get stacked orders or cross stacked if you're multi-apping, and you're essentially making it easier to essentially not have to have multiple apps. If Uber Eats is going to give me 2, we'll say $10 orders every time, I'm probably going to stick to doing Uber Eats back-to-back orders. Now, of course, The volume has to be there, and I think that's the biggest question: is there the order volume, and then the extra mile or 2. Mm-hmm. Usually, it's faster than going to 2 restaurants and 2 houses, just going to 1 restaurant and 2 houses. So,
to me,
that adds up to me.
And say, to me, money always talks. If the money's worth it, then I do stacked orders all day long. That's how I make majority of my day. It's by doing stacked orders. So, but it also depends on dollar amount. I'm not going to do a stacked order, 2 orders for $5. No way, Jose.
Right.
But if it was like 2 orders for like $15 or $20, I'd be like, let's do it. So to me, it just depends on the dollar amount. Is it worth your time, miles, so on and so forth?
I think the other piece of it too, like Kim mentioned, is it worth your time? Like, are you waiting are both of the orders ready when you get to the restaurant, or do you have to wait a certain amount of time, 10 minutes every time you get these 2 orders? because that also adds up too. And I think that's the other piece of it. So as long as the offer amount is right, and as long as they're ready, both relatively close to at the same time,
like a 2 to 3 minute window.
Yeah, that's under 5 minutes, I think, because I know I'm still getting 2 orders.
Because that's what we were kind of talking about, was like these would be like instead of these being like, oh, that's the stacked order, it'll get here later. These would actually be the express orders. These would be the ones that got out the fastest, is the way Jimmy and I were looking at it. Like, dude, the stacked ones would go out quick because they would be paired up to the same neighborhood, to the same area. You would, and if not, you'd just be taking one. But those would still be express. They would be moving out way quicker.
You would have
and
to
I honestly think that model of pay would work a lot better. It would cut down on the amount of transactions that they need to do with the independent contractor, because they can, if they do all that up from the same restaurant, we were talking about how they could make that 1 tally instead of 2. That would really help the company.
If they're express orders, you would definitely have to have a really good partnership with the restaurant, because the only thing that comes into my mind is like Chipotle. I don't think they know what express really is.
Well, so and we're gonna go even deeper than that tonight. Hannibal's gonna talk about a story kind of about that is a little yeah. But before we get there, Kim, you got the DD. By the way, the group that they are talking about in that article, the Stop Hiding Pay Information from Workers, do you know what that is?
That's David's, right?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. I was going to
52,000 signatures strong now.
Nice. I was going to ask, that was going to be the first thing I was going to ask you, because when I was reading the article, I'm like, this sounds like David's petition. I'm like, is it? And that was the first thing I was actually going to ask you. So the article I thought was very fitting because it came from New Jersey. It came from the Patch, and the Patch is really big around my area. I don't know whether it's anywhere else besides New Jersey, but I get a lot of like my local news coming from there. Oh, they do have it in Denver?
That's where I got it, yeah.
Oh, cool. So anyway, so they were talking, I guess, shedding light, even though we kind of already know about this, that customers don't know that really DoorDash drivers in general, that they hide tips from the drivers, and that, you know, your tips might not be seen by the driver. And then at the same time, they were saying that, you know, a good order tip might be paired with someone who didn't tip, and your tip kind of gets put to the back burner. So it really was just shedding light on the petition. It was actually pretty cool. You could actually click on the link and it actually went right to the petition. So, I mean, it's really good awareness for David and Para. So that was just basically raising awareness. And that was actually going to be my question for you. I'm like, is this David's petition? I'm like, this has to be. I don't know of another petition that's going on that strong right now.
And actually, me and Chan next Monday are having a very long meeting about, there's been a domain bought. I won't give it out today, but it's a .org, and it's going to be dedicated all around this, an independent contractorship, and a little more than just a grassroots movement with 10,000 or 2,000 signatures. I mean, these are 51,000 or 52,000 like active emails that have been verified. A lot of times through these change.org, you find a lot of bunk emails and stuff. These are like I don't know, they've already discarded some. So our next goal is like 75,000. So at this point, it's no joke. This isn't 12 people striking Instacart by staying home. This is a lot of people who have seen DoorDash tip transparency and are like, wait a minute, if this exists, why don't I see it every time? And why does it take a third party app?
I don't think our customer, I'll be honest, I think some customers know. I don't think a lot of our customers know that when they give us a $10 tip, a $20 tip, their order comes through as like $6.75, sometimes it may be $7.75. Like, I think they have absolutely no idea that this is a general practice of DoorDash. And I think it's doing it. I've always said it's done a disservice to the customer. It's more of a customer service issue, because this customer thinks, well, I'm going to tip this driver really well and I'm going to get my food. Well, that might not be the case, because it still might be a $6.75 order or even a $7.75 order, but still going 5 miles. So for, you know, a DoorDasher to make an informed decision, like, our customers don't know, in my opinion, that this is going on.
Yeah. I would agree with that. I would think that unless you have a driver in your family.
Yeah.
They might not bring it up. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Zach. What did you say?
Where is the petition being sent? Is it being sent to DoorDash or is it being sent to some form of government?
It's going to be on this .org page, but there's been awareness brought to it, like politicians in California, like we've made people aware of the .org because change.org. And I don't know. I don't want to burn this for anybody who has signed a lot of change.org petitions, because there's a lot of good ones out there, you guys. But change.org allows me to go create a petition for my dog to cross the road after this show. I mean, like, you can create a petition for anything. So it's one of those platforms that people don't give a ton of value to until there's a ton of value behind something. And there's a ton of value behind this one. So sometimes a petition, it's almost like, I don't want to say it, it's like, wow, that's spreading like wildfire, or like whatever, because there was 100,000 para users. So the first thing David did was announce it to that base. And I mean, immediately within like 6 days or 7 days, it got up to 48,000. So, I mean, now it's just been growing it was 48,000 at the gig conference, which was 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, that's gained another 4, but I mean, that 48,000 base, I'm guessing, is like 90% para people, if not more. And that's the people who are exposed. Again, I saw John left a comment that maybe, it could hurt. And I hear you, John. I'm not a big union guy, for one, and I know this isn't union, but, like, I hear you that petitions can hurt. But I think that bringing how you said it could bring awareness to customers who tip well and realize it's pointless. I don't think that, again, just like they don't see the tips, I don't think they'll see this petition. I don't think they'll know about this petition. This is only drivers know.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not learning about this petition. If they are, then they probably have already learned about how bad we're paid, and it's not going to be a shocker to them. That's my take, but I don't know.
I'd sign John's Baja Blast petition. I'll tell you that much. I love Baja Blast.
Did you hear that, John? You can go to change.org and create that in the next 5 minutes. But yeah, we'll talk about the para thing next week, because after Chan and I talk, we're gonna solidify a lot of things, because I saw the outline of our conversation, and it's efficient. A lot on there. But yeah, they also wanting some ambassadors to help out with this and stuff. So there's a big thing that's going to be coming out next week. So keep your eyes open. And Hannibal, we were just talking about third-party deliveries, and some states have moved to law. What about Iowa?
Yeah, so I was checking this out earlier this afternoon. In Iowa, they had a law that started a month ago where these platforms, these third-party delivery companies, need to basically have a contract with the restaurant. So I'm sure you guys are familiar, if you guys use Grubhub, where you would get an order and you would have your Grubhub card and you would basically act like you're a customer. I've had this issue twice, where the first time I didn't necessarily know what was going on. I kind of figured out, and I realized that this restaurant did not want me to be in there. They had no business with Grubhub. I called customer service and saying, like, they're not really understanding what I'm trying to say or trying to do. And the person that I was talking to basically said, yeah, because they're probably not signed with Grubhub. So next time you just make the order as if you're a customer. I was like, well, that's shady as F. Like,
Yeah.
And then I think I stopped after the second one. I was like, yeah, I'm not feeling this, because it's really disingenuous to, you have a business and then some other company is bringing people over. You have no idea, you have no control. You're not interested in using Grubhub, yet, Grubhub is still having your restaurant on their platform. So it was a pizzeria, was interviewed, and he's upset because he's like, this is a month late. It came in effect July 1st, this law, and Grubhub is still have not his restaurant off of the platform. So there's delivery drivers showing up with no order, looking for an order that's not even made, is not being done. And it's damaging his business because the customers don't know, just like we were talking about earlier, Kim, like customers don't know all of the intricacies of the gig world and the platforms and how a lot of these platforms are shady. So when I'm ordering my pizza from this pizzeria and I'm not getting it and there's an issue, I may not even blame Grubhub. I may blame the restaurant. You know how you never know, right? And it's damaging to his business. And he's like, this is ridiculous. The law came in a month ago and this still not being resolved. And it kind of just shows again, going back to the word, the shadiness of these platforms. So it's weird when there's people who have this, I don't know, fantasy or this illusion that we complain too much. There's just too, the companies are doing right by us all the time. And if you spend like 10 seconds reading on the history of Uber or some of the things that DoorDash has done, or even Grubhub has done, the amount of ethical problems that, ethics is something that these companies don't even know the meaning of. You realize that these companies are out for, trying to get as much money as possible. But if I ran a small business and I did not want to work for DoorDash or Grubhub or Uber Eats, they should not have my restaurant on their platform. So that was just that. And the owner talking, he just seemed exasperated, like he just exhausted. He's like, what else can he do? There's a law and they still doing what they want to do. So I don't know. Zach, do you use Grubhub at all?
I do. So, and actually, that's a city ordinance here as well. It took Grubhub months to actually start following the law. And Hannibal, I was going to ask you earlier when you were talking about being told no at a restaurant with Grubhub. Do you have the old card that says Grubhub right on it?
I believe it's somewhere around here. Actually, maybe my wallet, but yeah, it's kind of weird. It was very weird of walking in there.
Those hide the receipt type of days. Yeah, that was sketchy for sure.
Yeah, you feel like you're a part of some kind of scheme, and like this is not worth all this effort. Like
right? You feel like you're like undercover buying something.
Well, you know it's a scheme when they tell you don't let them know you're from Grubhub. Like this, don't say Grubhub, don't mention us.
Yeah.
Like,
we're not part of this. Just go in there, get the food, get the I forgot what it was, Thai place, get the Thai and get out and deliver it. Like,
I was gonna say, I went to a restaurant and I had a picture of it, and I don't know whether I still have it, and this was months ago, but it was posted right to the restaurant door. No DoorDash, no Uber Eats, no Grubhub. You will be turned away. You are not welcome in our establishment. It was like,
fiery.
Yeah, it was like, basically do not enter if you're any one of these platforms.
As somebody who's ran a restaurant and a bar before, I fully understand though. I mean, like when you're staffing to run what and then they're like, who's pimping out my bar? Like why am I not in this mix? Why are people coming in here and getting, where's my order? I don't even know who you are. Like, what are you talking about?
What
dude?
Better? These companies are basically they're profiting from something that the restaurants aren't even getting. I mean, the restaurants are getting paid for the cost, but like these companies are profiting money off of companies that they don't even know that they're getting profits off of.
Right. But the other thing I think that goes wrong with those a lot of times is that they don't update the menu. So people are ordering just weird stuff like we haven't served that in 6 months. Like that's a seasonal dish. Like where do you get that? Where do you even get this stuff from?
Yeah. Another problem with that is when their items are out of date, you can get a account violation on Grubhub. So they went and pirated the website or the menu off the website like 3 years ago. Boom, driver gets an account violation.
Yeah. Don't you think Amazon, like I'm going to bring Amazon in, don't you think Amazon's going to care about this? Don't you think they're going to be like, hey, this isn't how we operate. We don't take people's credit cards and go into the alley and figure it out.
Right.
They may have to, they may have a few say in the matter. They're like, hey, listen, you guys can't do that. Like that's just
Amazon's fast and efficient, man. If Grubhub doesn't do a complete 180 on what they're doing right now, that they're going to get kicked to the curb.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I mean, like the video, even in the story Hannibal's talking about, shows the owner of this pizza place, and I mean, they actually show a guy come in, and I don't know, I think it must be, it's being played out, it's not real, but the guy comes in, he's like, yeah, I need a pizza, And they're like, and he's like, I'm here from Grubhub, and they're like, we can get your order, man. They're like, he's like, well, how long? They're like, about an hour. He's just standing there like, well, it's like,
no, I'm not gonna stay for an hour. Yeah, it's so comical, but it's
well, you got to
sad,
go there, and then you got to tell them it's for Grubhub, and then they'll run it on the card, and then they'll charge it, but you're ordering it, so the platform middleman piece isn't even working.
I mean, like, if you unassign this order that you didn't want in the first place, and then you get penalized as well on top of that.
That'd just be like me texting you guys addresses and saying, go pick up Chipotle, this order, and go take it here. We'll figure it out later.
At that point, yeah, you're pretty much an errand boy. You're no longer a driver. You're just an errand man at that point.
Yeah, but going back to what Zach says, the efficiency issue. Like, that's not us trying to disguise ourselves as customers isn't efficient. For any company or even a gig worker or not, but to and then kind of letting everyone know, just don't let them know who you are. Like, what did I sign up for? I didn't sign up for this. I can see where Grubhub is where they are. I'm not sure if the other platforms do this, but Grubhub is where I had my experiences. I don't know if you guys had experiences with Uber Eats or DoorDash at all.
Uber Eats, I had a nightmare of a one. The Uber Eats, I had a nightmare of a one a couple weeks ago. It was like a $20 order. So I'm like, $20, why not? And it was only going like 2 miles. And the prices were completely different. And when I ordered it, I just ordered it over the phone. So I went to go pick it up. And it was supposed to be, I think, like $15. And the lady at the restaurant's like, it's $25. So I'm like, whoa. And of course, the card declined. And then I had to go through. It was just like minutes of time wasted between Uber Eats and this restaurant. And the restaurant's like, if I knew it was Uber Eats, I would have not told you to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they're all bad, but I got it, Grubhub, at least I feel like Grubhub's kind of under the gun. They're going to either really have to, because they were like a Hail Mary and Amazon stepped in and said, okay, all right, we'll take 15% if this year goes good. We'll buy of Just Eats. Okay, well, things couldn't be going worse. And I don't know if they didn't disclose that to Amazon or not, but honestly, things couldn't be worse for Grubhub. And maybe, I'm guessing Amazon knows that they're not a dumb company.
Well, I'll be honest with you.
I don't know. Sorry, go ahead, John.
No, I was just going to say, with Grubhub, even though Amazon has that deal with them, I got the Grubhub Prime, and I haven't used it once, so I don't know how much that deal is really helping.
But you don't think it will down the line?
No, because, and this is what I'm going to piggyback on what John was saying, is the very first week that it rolled out, it was like Grubhub is alive again. And I was actually getting orders. It lasted a week, and now Grubhub's back to being Grubhub. Like, it's my opinion, it's not a sustainable thing. Like, it was fun for that week, and everybody's like, yes, I have something for free. And then it lost its luster, and it's back to being Grubhub again. Like, to me,
there's remembered why they don't use Grubhub.
Well, people, two reasons. Number one is a habit. It's easier. Probably people have that DoorDash or Uber Eats probably like right on their hot dial button on their phone. And the second thing, with Grubhub, there's not enough drivers right now. Being Grubhub, I don't think they really prepared for an increase in order volume. And if as a customer, the first time I ordered Grubhub, I'm waiting an hour, I'm not going back to them.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
But don't you think that, again, this is a month after Amazon announced all this. Do you think that Amazon is just like, well, let's just give up? Or do you think that they're kind of like going, hey, guys, let's meet for a couple weeks here. This is horrible. F- job across the board. Let's step into this room over here. I feel like something's going to happen. I don't feel like this is it. It's just going to stay like this, because at the end of the year, all the people who have these accounts are going to be charged $9.99 a month. And that's going to be auto pay. And if you cancel it right now, then you can't use the Grubhub service through Amazon. So you can't cancel it now and still get the free year till it ends. You have to cancel it when you want it to be canceled, before it ends. But then they're going to do the auto billing, and you've already agreed to that. I mean, I'm reading an article right here because I always follow this FAA stuff, the the Federal Arbitration Act. So I don't know if you guys know about like how I'm sure you do, that we've always had to arbitrate as gig workers. That's been a big problem, that we can't take on our own issues, that we have to arbitrate as almost like a group. So it makes it like a union problem, but we are not union. So where it's, Massachusetts, where they're about to go to an AB5 model, it says, that the FAA does not exempt Grubhub drivers. And they didn't say any other drivers, just Grubhub. And they said it says at the heart of the case was an electronic agreement among the plaintiff drivers and Grubhub that was executed through an online portal, which the plaintiff had to activate a hyperlink titled Arbitration Agreement with an option to view the text of the agreement when navigating to the signature page. The signature page required plaintiffs acknowledge to read, understood, and be agreed by the bound terms. So they're talking about the checkbox. Do you want to update this? I understand. I don't want to read anything. Yes. When you do that, you gave away your rights. And this court is up, like a lot of courts have said, that's not enough. This is tricking people, blah, blah, blah. This court straight up, and it's in Massachusetts where it seems to all be going backwards, went the other way and said, well, they actually sided with the companies here and said, listen, that checkbox is enough. If you check that box and you don't want to read it, that's on you. And I hear him, man, but at the same time, that's, it's kind of a win. I don't know. I don't know how to view that. I was just reading this article, and it could be a loss. It could be a win. It could.
Zach, what are you finding in your area with Grubhub? Is it still did you find the pickup and then drop off again?
Yeah, there was no pickup. It's just been crickets.
So if you turned on just Grubhub and you had nothing else in your arsenal, what would happen in a day?
I'd make $14 maybe. Something kind of, yeah.
That's what, one order?
No, I mean, if I'm being realistically, I'd probably make less than $50.
Yeah, so Grubhub
in a full work day?
8 hours.
Okay, so if you put 8 hours in on just Grubhub, even on a Friday, let's say Friday night.
No, I mean, because on the weekends here, it really can shine. The weekends would be the exception. I would say that, honestly, I'm doing so much Uber Eats these days. I hear that Grubhub notification go off, so take this with a grain of salt. Right. The last time I saw an order over $20 on Grubhub was about 4 months ago. At least one that wasn't being doubled.
Okay.
Now, do you see decent Grubhub orders during the dinner rush in your market?
Yes.
Yeah.
Why do you not, John?
No, that's pretty much the only time I see decent Grubhub orders is during the dinner rush. There's a couple restaurants that are, for lack of better terms, Grubhub exclusive, but they're horrible with wait times. So it's for me to take one of those orders, it has to be $15, $20, like a nice dinner. And with Grubhub, I will give them they have tip transparency, so it's going to be that amount. But still, that's maybe one a night, maybe 3 a night at the max.
Yeah.
Long gone are the days of $300-$400 Grubhub nights for me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really. I'm trying to think of any, but it's funny because I can tell you 2 content creators I know well, Gary and Jason Thierry from Gig Economy Podcast, who only use Grubhub when they order, but neither of them work Grubhub.
I was going to say, if Gary was here right now,
for some reason they love it. That's the only way that they like to order and get it. I don't know.
Is that the Amazon no rush shipping type of thing?
I was going to say, if Gary was here right now, he would be arguing with every single one of us on how fantastic Grubhub is.
If you got your restaurants and everything is saved, that's as simple as that. If you already been using it, it's just basically what you're comfortable with. It's a habit. I think Grubhub in my market, fast food restaurants are still I turn on just to see what's going on with Grubhub. Wendy's, Taco Bell, which I'm bougie, so I don't go to pick up fast food. So not for me, but orders still coming over here with Grubhub. But still DoorDash and Uber Eats for the most part. But Yeah, I think for Gary, he likes his food, right? He likes a certain kind of meal, so he already knows it's already saved. You don't have to go to DoorDash try to find the same restaurant. So a lot of it is our, what we're used to doing. I think, at least if I'm defending Gary.
Creature of habit.
No. It's
exactly.
Part of what Gary's told me. One of the reasons he told me was straight up because he's like, because I know on the other end, which I know he doesn't work it anymore, but he did. But that he said, I want the driver to see my tip. I want the driver to see what I'm paying. He's like, I just want them to see that so that they know they're getting paid well, because with Grubhub, you can't really change that without like pulling teeth.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's very difficult. It's
fair enough.
So I think he thinks that by putting all of his money up front, like, I'm tipping $20, guys. I'm one of the good guys. I'm treating you right. He thinks he's going to get food. He might even get that extra service. Like, hey, they didn't include this. Do you want me to? Yeah. Could you get some extra? Like, he thinks that they'll go the extra mile because they see the payment.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a good Grubhub driver in this market that every time he sees that order, he's like, "Oh, I know this one. This is the Gary. Tip's great." Yeah.
But it's
well,
funny
plus you don't have to, because it shows.
It's
funny. It's funny you should say that, because that's actually what I use Grubhub for. Like, I treat it as like my third app, and I wait for the really good orders, and then I'll do a Grubhub order. Like, I just don't do a Grubhub order to do it. Like, I wait for those, $15, $20, $22. I've gotten some $30 orders. Like, I wait for like those orders, and then that's when I'll do Grubhub.
Yeah, that's true. I feel like there's like a feeling with Grubhub, because I noticed like I won't take a $6 or I'll take a $7, on Grubhub. I'll take a $7 on DoorDash, because that $7 on DoorDash is some upside. That $7 on Grubhub, you kind of feel like there's no upside on that. Even like on Uber Eats, you see a $10, you feel like, okay, this could be $15, $20. See a $10 on Grubhub, I'm probably still taking it, but I'm just not as excited.
But Zach, do you think that because it's here we are, it's kind of weird, because all we want is what Grubhub does. Full transparency.
Yeah.
And yet Grubhub's the failure.
Yeah. Grubhub does one thing right.
Right, but it's what we want from all the platforms. Show me everything up front so that I know if I want to take that order. Quit playing these games with me. Grubhub actually does that. Mm-hmm. Other than showing you the distance, other than the distance.
They showed me the distance.
They start showing the distance.
Yeah, they kind of turned that around. Maybe last
year. Do they show
year?
The full mile? Do they show? Is it not where you're going? What don't they show? Is it full transparency?
That used to be the distance. It used to be.
Yeah. Okay, so they used to have that going.
Now they've taken the at least on my ancient iPhone version, they've taken the specific tip amount out, but you do still see the full payout, and it's always accurate.
Right.
Well, so why would it matter if they take the tip out? You're seeing what you're getting paid.
Whatever it is, it is. Yeah.
To be honest, I'd rather just show me the number.
They were dragging their feet for the miles thing for a while. It was very odd. Like, all these apps have their little quirks, if that makes any sense. Nova Dasher says the user interface on Grubhub is the worst. You guys agree?
Yes.
From an ordering perspective, yeah. I that's probably one of the reasons I haven't ordered Grubhub. I opened that app just last week, and I was like, no.
So the driver and the customer side is bad. Why?
But then on the flip side, everybody says that the best interface of all apps is Instacart, which is also the worst app.
Is it?
I think so.
I might have had a problem with that, so I guess.
Man, I think we should call it.
Well, Kim's been doing lots of Instacart, I know. So
yeah, that'd be no.
Kim, have you ever done one?
No.
Okay. I've only done one. I've done two. When I did the shipped Instacart challenge, I did two. But one of them was to Office Max for a Rima paper.
Oh, that's fine. No, I have it. I just have never used it.
I just definitely did not get myself activated on Shipped. Turns out that's like an interview process, and I didn't know that at the time. And I was quite salty about it. So those answers are not getting me activated. I literally typed in there, "This is not a W-2 job," on every question they asked me.
Yeah, that's probably not going to work out.
Yeah, it's probably not going to go over too well.
Wait a minute. But if you're shipped, they would love that. They're like, you're right. This is not a W. This guy's awesome.
Yeah. So like the Sharpshank Redemption at the end.
He gets
like,
it.
Yeah,
he gets it.
Yeah, he gets it. Let him have it.
Like my logic behind that is, you either activate somebody and then you can deactivate them with, little to no reason, right? So why should I have to go and put on a suit and tie and do this interview when you guys aren't even going to show me tips up front?
Mm-hmm.
Show me the tips.
I did put on a suit and tie.
Yeah, I think I was in the bathroom getting ready for a shower. Like, that's.
I think I put on a clean t-shirt.
But I didn't go through that. They just asked me 5 questions, and I had to type the answer, and I sent it in and done.
Yeah, I mean, if I remember right, they did want you to it wasn't radio boxes and one-liners. They did want you to write a little something or.
So I was
They did make you do more than the other apps make you do. I will say that.
So I was going to have to do a video interview, and that was not going to be pretty if I decided to go through with that. So I'm just like, you know what?
Maybe they thought you were applying for corporate.
No.
No, I do remember because I think when I applied, I had to do it was like a video interview, but you had to send a recording of yourself. I forgot what the question was, but answering 2 or 3 questions, and I was like, this is weird. So
I got on ship. I don't remember any of that, but that was I don't know. I don't remember.
Yeah, mine was all written. Mine was all written, but it was all customer service questions, how did you deal with blank?
Yeah, Nova said he had to submit a video, and Bud Sutter had a button up on. Oh, fancy!
Oh, look at Bud.
You put a button up on?
I remember this question, Nova. I do remember this question. How I deal with difficult customers. I do remember that because that got back to my service industry days, and I was like, "That's a no-brainer for me." But I remember I wrote a decent little amount on it.
Can you imagine if someone says I curse them out all day long, something like that?
Or Zach's answer to this question was, "This isn't a W-2 job."
Straight up, if you're going to make me guess how much I'm going to make, I'm not going to answer your question seriously.
I'm just wondering, man. I didn't know that they went that far. They actually had people here in the United States, a center that was calling and interviewing.
No, so it's the way, and I just did this a week ago, so this is probably pretty current. They have the 4 or 5 questions, and you type in a paragraph or whatever you want to do, and then you submit that, and you think you're done, and then you realize you're not because you need to get in front of the camera and then do a behavioral interview type of thing, which then gets sent off to somewhere, and you just kind of hope for the best.
But let me play some devil's advocate here. Screening process. Should there be a more thorough screening process for these platforms? Not necessarily interview W-2 style, but what ideas could we come up with that would screen some of the people who clearly not cut for the and again, it's not the most difficult thing to do, but I feel like maybe there should be some level of screening, but I don't know how that would come across considering it's not a W-2 job, right?
There's a driver in my market that has charges pending currently for embezzling $2 million or something. Got through the application process, no problem, and she's out there driving for DoorDash every day.
DoorDash doesn't have a background check. They don't.
Yeah.
But how many times do we see on the news a DoorDasher gets arrested for whatever, and they're they had a past criminal record of blah 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 blah, and you're really, DoorDash? How did this person get on?
I saw was it South Dakota? Jason Terry always has these funny TikToks and stuff that he does on his podcast. You guys, if you don't check out the Gig Economy podcast, it's not yesterday, but it's hard to remember, but it's every other Wednesday. So it's next week, Wednesday. But he's it's more fun. He's just lighthearted and stuff, and it's funny. But he always plays these clips, and he did this clip of this. I don't know if you guys saw it. This was actually probably about a month and a half ago. But this DoorDash driver who got arrested, and because he had outstanding warrants, but a lot of them and stuff, it wasn't a parking ticket deal. and he was in the back of the police car, and the policeman delivered the food.
Oh yeah, I remember it. I think it happened more than once, Steve. I think it actually happened more than one time in different locations where they are arresting someone and might as well get this food out of the way.
Right. But hey, I'll just finish the delivery for him. Yeah, that's your driver in the back there. I'd rate him a 1.
Does the driver still get paid when that happens?
Yeah, they can't pay the cop.
Probably.
Well, how did they close it out if they have their phone? They can't close out
it's like
the order.
The picture, mark it delivered. I don't know.
Probably support calling. Did you get your food? Because it's been 3 hours.
Or does the driver deliver it? I mean, or does the cop deliver it and then the driver just gets a what do you call it?
Contract violation.
As well as go to jail. Do not pass go.
I can't believe I can't believe that's a thing though. That like multiple times this has happened. Like, police are going like, okay, get in the back, give me the food.
On the flip side,
where's it going?
Doing these apps, many people who have charges where they can't get a W-2, or it's really difficult because a lot of employers look at background check, or you've said have you been convicted of a felony. A lot of people decide not to hire that person, right? So for them, I think most of people who are deciding to do it are, they're either starting over in life and they need, something positive. They can make some money. So it does help. But at the same time, maybe certain charges, unfortunately, may never be able to be accepted. And that may be not fair, but I don't know. Like maybe, I don't know, embezzlement, but like anything where you're stealing something, I don't know if you should be able to be on the platform. Even
man.
Maybe 5 years ago. All right. Maybe there's a deadline there. I don't know.
Somebody like that, though, is the reason that I have to like check in with the person at Chipotle now when I need to go pick up an order rather than just grabbing it and going, man.
Yeah.
They're going to embezzle $2 million. They're going to embezzle some Chipotle too.
I mean, embezzlement is one of those charges that are on the line there. Like it's kind of a dishonesty charge. Maybe we shouldn't. But maybe we're waiting for a full conviction. But it does remind me of the time I was picking up a McDonald's order, and the person behind the counter was asking me, you need a license to do that? And I was like, yeah, you do need a driver's license. And the next question, what about felonies? I was like, I don't think you're cut out for this job. To myself, I was like, I don't know what DoorDash. There's a background check, but the fact that you're asking about a license and felonies and you work at McDonald's, it makes me worried about McDonald's more than anything else.
And I just think there has to be some sort of stricter policies coming onto a lot of these platforms, because I feel like we see this in the news every single day. I don't think it needs to be the extreme of Shipped where you actually almost go through an interview process, but knowing Target, because I've actually many years ago I actually interviewed Target, and their interview was like a 2-hour interview of like all situational questions. So when I was going through that process, I'm like, things haven't really changed too much. Like they're even doing it for their drivers. So I guess it made me feel like I'm like, okay, well, this is just Target and the way that their company operates. But like, I really feel like there does need to be some stricter policies and screening for people getting on these platforms.
Well, and I had Mike, I don't know if you guys know Mike Biseglia, Mike Delivers. You guys know Mike Delivers?
Yeah, I think I'm familiar with that name.
Okay, so he's near Kim. He's in Jersey City, and he's also he's had a few different roles. Right now, he is the podcast manager for ESPN New Jersey, New York professional basketball for the podcast. So he does that podcast, and then he does his podcast, Mike Delivers, with his wife, which the two of them go out and do Uber Eats only in Jersey City. And when I had him on, he was telling me, he's like, and this is about a year ago, he's like, I don't even know why Chipotle bothers. They might as well just put the thing outside, put all the bags on it, and just say, steal whichever one you want. He's like, he was specifically talking about Chipotle. He said, worst system ever. During the pandemic, they moved a metal rack to the door, and the people who were busy behind the counter were just like, it's over there.
Because they're busy.
They wouldn't check anything, nothing. You could just grab 4 bags and go.
Yeah, I mean, I think the few Chipotles I've noticed, they moved it behind the counter. Because you should, because people are stealing.
It should have started
people
there.
Probably not even using the app. They're walking into a Chipotle, they're looking around, you can see exactly what they ordered. So like, do I want that? No, I don't want that burrito. Let me get this burrito. Oh, this actually got extra 2 burritos. Just grab the bag and leave.
There's a matter somebody going to Chipotle, just not this
window shopping, literally.
Exactly.
Or you could just be on your phone playing a video game and then reading the orders like, oh, that one looks good. Like, it's. I mean, like, maybe I get it. This, I guess, was probably at the time when masking was still a big deal. So, they're like, we'll put it way over there. But I just never, at least my Chipotle, and I think they're all pretty much laid out the same. I mean, we all know size constraints and stuff, but really the look, the feel of a Chipotle is going to be the same wherever you go. And to be honest, like, they have lots of space in all the Chipotles near me to move a rack that didn't have to be at the door. I don't know. I would have, with the 5, 6, 9 people they got working there at a time, I would have thought somebody should have been sitting there watching that food. Just like I think there needs to be expediters for most restaurants, like Five Guys, that get real busy, that only deal with the platforms.
Not enough staffing, Steve. A lot of people don't want to work these jobs anymore.
Well, I mean, start hiring in, people who are, I don't even know, man, have, instead of subsidizing California workers, let's subsidize some business. No, like, you guys pay half his salary since, like, Grubhub, since you're ordering from our restaurant and we didn't even okay that. At least pay half this guy's salary for me or his hourly, because this is, will help expedite. I don't know. I mean, obviously, yes, the shortage, but to be honest, we all know these businesses, a ton of their business still, even if people are back out and about and going to these restaurants, one of the big reasons they're still succeeding is because of delivery. So to me, again, being in the restaurant industry, I know Kim's been in the service industry for a lot of years too. She gets it too, that, bottom line is, if when 80 to 90% of your business is these deliveries going out the door, you kind of, you assign some people to that. You say, hey, that's important. Maybe we should put 2 of our 10 people on it. I don't know.
I think that's the direction I think a lot of restaurants are going to have to head in the future. I think a lot of them are resistant to it because I think a lot of them think that the delivery driving is a bubble. But I know I've noticed at more and more restaurants, using Chipotle as an example, I'm noticing at like a counter to serve people who walk into the restaurant, but then they'll have something to the side just to make them the online orders. Now, that's just one example, but I could see that being like a future model for restaurants that get a lot of high volume orders. Do
any of you guys have restaurants in your market that exclusively do online orders? And I'm not talking about virtual restaurants.
Oh, not ghost kitchens. Okay.
No, not ghost kitchens.
Well, back 2 years ago, but I'm trying
currently.
To think.
Sometimes my Chipotle will shut down their dining room and only do online orders.
Just randomly?
Okay. Yeah,
but they're also probably doing the Chipotle app orders too.
Yeah, they are. But they'll shut their dining room completely down, and they'll actually post signs when you first walk in, online ordering only and delivery drivers. And you literally can't enter the restaurant unless you're picking up an order because they don't have enough staffing.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Yeah.
We have a few places like that here. One of them is a locally owned chain Thai restaurant, and they recently started allowing dining in finally about 3 weeks ago. So anytime you'd see somebody walking in, it was a driver. And KFC, interestingly, will do that here. But that does boil down to staffing issues.
Yeah. That is the biggest problem.
I was rolling back in the comments, you guys, just to try and play a little catch up, and I rolled across Holly's comment, and I couldn't see anything before it that led to it, but I had to bring it up because
those two things you should not be able to do.
Holly's crazy.
Background check,
yeah, those are definitely
background check. Maybe
I love her, but Holly's crazy.
You would hope that is not being,
like Joe said, Let's Play DoorDash said, don't fall asleep around Holly. Don't pass out around Holly.
Sounds like a fun time.
Right, Bud Soda?
Does something happen to Bud Soda?
No.
Nah, he's fine.
Okay.
He woke up before anything happened. But if Holly had her way, something would have. I told him that we wouldn't have. I was just trying to take his sunglasses off. He fell asleep with them on, so I was trying to help him. But Holly had other ideas. She was trying to get all the. What do we got? We got markers. We got,
like I said, a fun time at parties.
I would have loved a picture on that one.
There it is. Right there.
Yeah.
We love you, Holly. But we will all be careful to fall asleep around you now.
No, that reminds me. I was thinking, you talking about the restaurants that didn't let you order, only let you order online. There was a Jersey Mike's did that like that once. Went there to pick up an order, and there was a guy. I felt bad for him because he walked in. He was trying to order, and they're like, "No, we can't take in-person orders for another 45 minutes." I was like, "Wow."
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I was trying to think of any that are just online. I don't think we have any. I don't think there's any left. And I mean, during the pandemic, it was every one of them.
Right.
But now it's Holly,
Steve, did you actually say that?
Maybe. I don't remember though.
I
have a question. Does anybody have Qdoba in their market, or are they completely gone? Mine have completely gone out of my market.
Not near my house, but I think in in Queens. But yeah, definitely not. It's not as ubiquitous as the other.
Wait,
there's one Qdoba in my
Do we have
market.
a what? Okay, my God, did I hear the wrong word?
Qdoba. I don't even know what that sounds like.
No. Can I just say, I thought Kim said, does anybody have a dildo in their market?
What?
I don't know why.
The stream has been going on. It was an hour and 6 minutes. I guess is it what's going on?
I don't know why.
I heard exactly the right name of the restaurant. What do you
Thank you, Hannibal.
It's all in the chat.
Turn my volume up.
Yeah, you need
Sorry.
I mean, if you have delivered one, Steve,
like,
let us know. It's a big curry order. I'll tell you that much.
Because Steve, that's totally something I would say every day.
Right, like what? And what would you ask us, Steve?
I don't know. I don't even know why I said it. I don't know. Exactly, Thomas. Exactly.
So why is it shaped like a Q?
Oh, and all the good comments come in. There they are.
Well, we livened the group up right now.
And Steven's like engagement in 3, 2.
Yeah, right.
1.
Like, okay, it's kind of.
You haven't given this. You haven't given it a like. You can hit that like button now. I'll tell you that much.
I was gonna say, so if anybody has,
If you guys could like and
button, now's the
subscribe
time
to
do
this
it.
video, that would be awesome. Yeah, I knew she didn't say it. And when people started answering, I was like, okay, I know she didn't say it now because we can't be talking about this.
It's like, if somebody say the restaurant name one more time just so I know what we're talking about.
Qdoba.
There we go. Qdoba.
Yeah, Qdoba is a little bit different, but pretty much Chipotle. A little bit different, I guess.
Kind of like McDonald's and McDowell's.
Right.
That's a good analogy.
It's like Chipotle with dildos.
You realize you're knocking off a syllable there, though, Steve.
Steve, that was funny.
Mine is like making that joke. Wow.
Now, now the next time everybody gets a Qdoba order, you know the first thing that's going to come to the mind now.
I forgot what I was going to say. No, it doesn't matter. Oh, yeah, I remember. Is it cheaper than Chipotle? Because I don't order from either one of those restaurants. Is it cheaper? It's like,
Oh, my God. Sorry, guys. At least I gave everybody a laugh, though, right?
Sorry, I was just looking at Joe's comment for half a second, and it made me laugh.
This? Yeah. That's gold.
Yeah.
Now we know what Steve heard. There we go.
Hey, Steve's ears are getting old. I've been doing a lot of concerts, and my ears ring a lot and stuff. So, and I'm older. So, but I'm not too old. Like, I'll just be careful on those words and turn up the volume and get a hearing aid. Problem solved. But hey, man, I made everybody laugh, so it's all good. And I honestly really did think I was hearing that. I was looking at a note, and I thought I heard Kim say that, and I was like, what the hell? And then I was like, it's Kim. Kim would never have said that. Oh, too funny. Before we wrap this up, I want to know what everybody's got going on. So we'll go to Zach last because I know he's got something cool going on. John, what you got going?
There we go. Me right now, I've got a couple of different videos in the plan. So one thing it's got basically ship videos. So I got two decent ship videos, but one as I got halfway through making it, realized I can make it better, so I scrapped it and redoing it.
Okay.
The struggle is real,
man. Anything new and cool about Shipped, or should we wait for the video?
Yeah. So let me see. Let me see. What is it?
Or can you tease people with what it's going to be?
So I can tease people. Ship support hates them with this one simple trick. This one weird trick will get you more tips on ships.
Ooh,
I'm intrigued.
A legit tip and trick, guys.
Legit.
Legit.
Not a fake one.
And Kim, I'm going to ask you, but you gotta sell yourself better because you just always say I drop a video, but you got to do it better. Come on, you work too hard.
About what topic?
Well, I put out a fantastic video every day. I was kidding. I just take you guys along with me every single day for my daily ride along. Whatever happens, you guys see. So that's kind of what's coming up. Zach, I feel your pain. You said you were up until 2:00 in the morning. I feel like that's my every day. So I feel your pain, but I'm starting. I didn't take a step away from Spark, but I was doing it here or there just because of traffic and shore traffic in my area. Now it's slowly little bit dying down. Once Labor Day comes, I can really get back into kind of the way I was multi-apping with Shipped and Spark, and because all of those are like really down the shore by me and lots of traffic, so I'm getting back into that. Tuesdays are my live, so join me at 8 p.m. on Tuesdays, and
that's
I'm
Eastern.
here on Thursdays. Yeah, Eastern. I'm on Eastern, New Jersey time. New Jersey. And that's it.
Yeah, and so guys, Kim's out. Kim, I do have to ask you: Are you? Is the editing not way more streamlined than it was when you get home? I mean, aren't you in a good pattern where you're not so much like fighting the headache or sitting down and going, oh, like where you got it, and you're just kind of like, okay, I got this.
Yeah, I mean, it takes me an hour if it's a really detailed video, 2 hours maybe. So, but I like to come home, spend time with the family before I start editing. I usually edit when everybody in my house is asleep. I put my AirPods on and just go to town, and everything's uploaded before the next morning, including my thumbnail. And then I get up bright and early before everybody else and, do all my computer work and answer comments, and that's kind of, and then rinse and repeat all over again.
You do more while everybody's asleep than most people do when they're awake.
Right.
That sounds like an inflated army ad or something.
Okay, how many hours of sleep?
Remember those?
I'm sorry, what's that?
How many hours of sleep a night do you get?
4 to 6, maybe.
Yeah, sounds about right.
And then my daughter is back up around like 6:30, get her ready for school, and rinse, like I said, rinse and repeat.
Yeah.
Mom works, videoing, editing, rinse and repeat all over again.
People don't realize how much of a hustle YouTube is as well.
Yeah.
It's a full-time job if you allow it to be.
Yep. Yeah.
Thank you, the Driven Mom. Yes, guys, please like and subscribe. At least like the video tonight. There are 35 watching, and as Lisa's pointing out, there are 11 likes. Come on, guys, hit that like button. That's easy. It's free. won't be punished for that or anything.
Hannibal,
what do you have going on? Because also I am sending Hannibal a file. And by the way, Hannibal, my file is going to start off, if you're familiar with these type movies, where it's going to be, so this will give you a little hint too of in a world.
You didn't do that, did you?
I'm going to really do it. Yeah.
Right, don't worry. I'll take care of that.
You'll take it out.
Don't worry about it. So as Steve was referring to, I'm trying to expand my video editing kind of side hustle because I love editing videos, which is funny. I haven't made a whole bunch of videos this summer. The dog stuff has been extremely busy, but I love editing videos. I can sit on the computer. Actually, my highlight, I actually brought a standing desk. Very excited about that. I don't know why. The ability to still do a lot of work without sitting down for hours and I can stand up. It's gonna be a game changer.
It makes you look more professional at home, especially. So somebody said, "You just play on the computer." No, I'm working. Can't you see that
I'm working. Leave me alone, son. But he won't leave me alone. But so yeah, we got something for Steve and actually someone else too. But I'm gonna keep that to myself for now. But for what I got planned, but first, actually, I want to talk about another YouTuber real quick. She did her first live today. Her name is Faith Dash or Pass. Please someone put a link of her channel. Really fun. I think everyone loves Faith. I don't think anyone doesn't. Like, she's super fun. She doesn't take herself too seriously. She's putting herself out there and doing things that make being live, doing the live thing, especially by yourself. It could be a little nerve-wracking, especially when you first started. But she did a fantastic job, and she really came with a really good idea in terms of we are independent contractors.
I was surprised. It was great.
I mean, she had, she's working her car and saying like, why are we, if you want to save money and this important tool is your car, you should be able to replace your spark plugs. You should be able to change your oil. And I can't do any of that at all. No ability to do anything with my car. That's why I'm not a doomsday prepper. I'm done. Like, it's over. Like, I can't do anything. Can't chop wood. It's over. Like, once society is broken down where I can't order DoorDash, it's over for me. Like, I don't have any skills beyond video editing. But check her out. Super amazing person. She should have more subscribers. And just the fact that she brought a really obvious point. Yeah, you should, instead of spending hundreds of dollars at a mechanic, learn how to fix your own, fix your car a little bit. Like, certain things that you can save a lot of money on. So, but as for me, I would say if you're trying to reduce the ability of editing, do what me and Steve does. We make a live and go for 8 hours. Enough watch time will come in because we just talking and then invite like 15 people into the live. They all argue with each other, and then someone else watches it again. I mean, that's a good strategy if you're looking to get some time on
editing, man.
But cheers to your marathon, my friend. You had a marathon of a live, so cheers to you for that marathon.
I guess I'm getting this bug from Steve because Steve does like.
I honestly think Hannibal did not plan that.
No, I did not. No,
I don't think he was like, "This could be 4 hours, man."
No, max is 2 for me. So people are liking it. So I don't know if I'm going to. I don't know if I'm gonna go 4 hours again. But
I saw next week you got Van back.
Yeah. DoorDash Tips is his name right now. Just kind of recalling a little bit of how he's been doing. I know he's back on DoorDash doing his thing. Just talking about certain things that I've heard other people, and also a lot. He's on TikTok. He's blown up on everything. I think he has Instagram about people who are saying, people who have the idea of no tip, no trip, are they lazy? Are they not appreciative of the company? Are they making things worse? And I'm sure he has a lot to say about it. So we're going to talk about
bozos?
Yeah, I know. We already kind of know the answer. But he's be there Tuesday at 9 Eastern. And I'll probably have another live either before then or a little after. People like the lives. They like the conversations. So I'm going to keep that going. I think people appreciate it. And I still have videos and some ideas I want to do. But the lives, people like them. So the reason why I didn't leave and I stayed those 4 hours, people kept staying in. I just felt like there was more questions to be asked. So if people are cool and they like it, I'll keep doing it.
Yeah. I always liked your lives. I think that you've been on a little vacation from them, but I'm glad that they're back because I think your lives always get pretty interesting. That one, the last one got a little interesting, and it seemed like it was just a continuation. It was like to be continued from Pedro. Like
my favorite part, Richard, Sin City Deliveries. He actually got 1,000 subs. Congratulations to him. Cool guy. Like, he's explaining it and from his perspective. And when him and Gary were talking initially, I guess he didn't know who Gary was. Even though kind of Gary was like, who I am, but he didn't until I think later in the conversation, it was revealed that Gary is the Duh app. He has this, his cap. And Richard was like, asked him all these questions, like kind of fanboyed out. He's like, hey, you actually did this app? And what you did about this? You did about that? Like, I thought that was kind of cool. A moment there.
And he had the Duh hat on.
He had the hat. He's like, you're not wearing. So
Richard's like, is he just dumb or?
Are you making fun of me?
But yeah, that was fun.
So, and the other thing too about Hannibal, guys, is hit him up if you're looking for some video editing work. I don't know his prices or what's going on. I know he's just getting it going, but if you know anybody or somebody's asking you, that's how the world rolls. Make sure you're looking out for people. And Hannibal's got that down. He's doing a lot of that. Something that interests him. So keep him in mind. Zach, I kind of know, but what else you got going on coming up?
I'm dropping a video. So
listen, man, not too many details. Just keep it simple.
Yeah, so I'm addressing the most common concern that I hear in my comments in the next video, and I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be another all-nighter. I'm going to be up editing because editing is important to me as well, and I just invested some money into some really cool stuff that I'm excited to showcase in my videos moving forward. So
nice.
I want them to look pristine.
Nice. Awesome. Looking forward to
4K coming.
No, I have DSL, man. That ain't gonna happen.
They still have DSL?
Yeah, it's that or Comcast, and I'd rather have DSL.
DSL, not
that would
DSLR.
take you forever and a day to download.
Wait, DSL like a phone cord?
Yeah, like a phone cord, bro.
You do not. Seriously?
The struggle is real. My upload is less than 1 megabit a second.
That is a struggle for sure.
Yeah, that's
you might just want to go to McDonald's to the Wi-Fi at that point.
I was just gonna say, go to Starbucks or something.
I was thinking about that. There's a Starbucks just up the road for me, and the next time I
password, just sit outside it at night. They don't even turn the routers off. Yeah,
yeah,
what are you doing? Uploading?
That's safe. Yeah,
yeah. So just working on videos. Trying to do the best job I can with that. Man, I got two. I realized this a little while ago. I have two modes. I have something's on my mind, and I'm just going to go and quickly record a video, and then I've got the other stuff that I do, which man, that is my bread and butter. So I just can't wait.
I was watching the teaser video to the one video, and it took me a minute. I think the video was over. It was, 5 minutes? And the video was over, and I was like, why did he call that bird Cheryl? It took me a minute to realize it was a crow. And I was like, oh. Mm-hmm. I'm like, because he's like, I hope Cheryl, or I think he said, like, I hope Cheryl isn't around or something. He's like, yesterday it was a damn crow here.
Yeah. So I was trying to do a video, and I was on my soapbox about something. And there was a crow squawking in the background. So the next day I was in the same spot recording, and I just made some comment about, I hope the crow Cheryl doesn't show back up and gets all opinionated again.
For some reason, I don't know. That went right by me, and like then when the video was over, I'm like, oh, I got it.
Yeah.
So it was good stuff. So you guys, all of our channels are in the show notes. Zach's at the top. We always put our guest at the top. If you're not subscribed to Zach, obviously subscribe to him.
Yes. So sub right now. Just check it out.
Yeah.
Funny. Putting out some really good content.
Appreciate you.
Different length videos too, you guys. You go check it out. You can just grab anything.
If you're okay with coarse language.
Yeah, that's even my favorite part of it. Yeah.
I prefer that.
Yeah.
It's a little spicy language.
Well, he starts it off like there's no way that this is gonna happen, and then like a minute or two in, it's like it's gonna happen. It's like,
you know, the problem is I get thinking about the stuff I'm talking about, and I get mad thinking about it.
I know, but it starts off like a grandmother might be watching and go, "Okay, this is okay. He's not gonna swear."
Oh, I'm gonna swear.
But there will be blood.
I think I've only made 2 videos ever where I didn't swear. One of them was intentional. It was me addressing customers, and I wanted to be on my best behavior for that.
You should also make a addressing customers one where you swear too, because I think that's more realistic.
Maybe
I would have actually, matter of fact, I did kind of do that. It was 11 pet peeves, but that was like right before I got monetized, and I was like, man, I just let the F-bomb fly from very early on in this video. Like I just gotta, this has to go away from the channel for now.
You gotta express yourself, you know, like in an honest way, creatively, you know. So it's like,
I mean, all of these people, for the most part, even if some of these people don't swear, none of them care when people do.
For sure.
You know, I mean, I don't know. All of our community seems to not care. Some of these people I know don't swear, you know, but
I'm seeing in the chat here, some people are using some of my more colorful words.
F knuckle.
F knuckle. Yep.
Yeah.
Just say you grew up off of George Carlin.
That's why I love a grandma too.
Jackie's freaking awesome.
Yeah, she's new to this channel, but she's been here a few times lately. She's always had some fun comments. Yeah, it's been fun watching her. So
yeah, Jackie always.
I'm not all the time watching the comments, but I try and peek over from time to time. But yeah, obviously, thank you, Zach, for joining us. Thank you, everybody.
Appreciate you guys.
By the way, next week we have
Kevin.
He'll be back.
No, it's no, I was trying to read off my calendar. I didn't write it on here, I guess. But we have Stable Insurance, the CEO.
Nice.
Now, Stable Insurance is just like Buckle. And they're growing as quick as Buckle. And it's rare. Usually when I do a CEO interview, they don't want to come on the roundtable. So this can be really cool. Because I told them we're all going to ask him some questions, and you know, no low blows. We're good-hearted people, but it'll be one of those times where, you know, we were just talking about how we want to swear and be able to swear. Probably be one of those times when we'll watch it till we feel this guy out a little bit. You know,
just make sure your volume on your headset is high enough, Steve, so you can hear everyone.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
And not mistakenly think I said something that I didn't,
or that he does. Like, did you say dildo?
Man,
like,
Steve, let me know when you get that cease and desist from Qdoba.
Yeah,
right. Let me check my email. It's probably there now. So, but yeah, thank you guys. And so next week will be a little bit different, but always fun. All you guys are the best. This panel's the best. Thursdays are super fun. What's up, Gig Lebowski? Haven't seen you in a while.
What's up, Gig?
The big gig.
And you know, be safe, earn smart, and spin some good into this crazy nutty world that we live in. We'll see you back here next week. Peace, y'all.
Take care.